Hey, this is HANK3, and you're listening to FullMetalRock.com.
This is Patrick with FullMetalRock.com. Pleasure speaking with HANK3. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, man.
Last time we did an interview was in June 2010 in New Orleans, whenever Turley was opening up for you. And at that time, you were still with, I guess, Anchored Down to Curb. And now, as of this year, I believe January, Curb finally let you go. How's that been?
It's been awesome, man. A completely new beginning. And out of that, I've made music history.
Yep.
So it's been killer, man.
How does it feel, not to answer to anyone but yourself?
Well, it's good. I just, all in all, I'm a musician, and that's what I do, man. And just wanting to put it out there. For years, everybody's talked about how many different styles I can do, but no one's ever been able to really grasp how intense it is on what I offer.
Yeah. Well, 4 records in 8 months. I mean, that's pretty much insane for anybody to do.
It's never been done, man. The only guy that ever came close was Frank Zappa, and he didn't even, his label held him back from creating his vision. So this is a first in music history for it to happen, man.
Yep.
That's one thing that makes me stand out from any other Hank Williams.
Fucking right. And covered in 3 different genres of music, you did them all at the same time, or was it you did different pieces together?
No, it was all done. I mean, I started in January, and every day I was working on it till June. In the daytime I do country, at nighttime I do rock. But, from January to June, it was every fucking day, from the time I woke up till the time I went to sleep. Some days I just didn't even eat. It was just fucking going there, man.
That's insane. You've always been a workaholic constantly throughout the whole industry as far as touring and taking care of, your land, taking care of everything you do. How did did you get burned out to some point and say, why am I doing all this at one time?
I mean, it was definitely a lot to handle, but it was such an inspiration I wanted everything for the road. I wanted to give my fans the option to buy the CDs, and while I got the energy, I wanted to make history. I got the rest of my life only to play an hour and only to put out 1 CD, and I wanted to give my fans, a chance to either buy a country record or a doom record or a speed metal record, and so it was, I bit off a lot more than I could chew, but that's what makes me different, man. It's always 150% as much as I can go.
Fucking right. And me being from Louisiana, living in the middle of the Cajun heartland, I guess they call Lafayette. I was pretty much proud to hear, I guess, the Cajun country coming over on the record, because sometimes you always touch the little Cajun here and there, but having that on this record, I think to me, being a fan is having that actual influence from the years, from being the Cajun history you have.
Well, it's not just me. My grandfather had a very strong connection with the people down there. My dad was born in Baton Rouge, and of course, working with Philip and knowing a lot of other people from around the area, I've had my own connection with it. But all in all, in my darkest hour, I would listen to some of the old Cajun music, and it would be some of the best therapy for me, man. Yeah. I mean, that old music would soothe my soul. So it was my way of trying to offer that to some other people out there that might need it, and it, Cajun honky tonk fucking rules. People don't really understand how important the Cajun style and country music were hand in hand back in the day. So I'm just trying to pay my respects on some history down there, man.
Yeah, we did a great job with that, man. Definitely some Cajun pride.
All right, you know it.
And Gutter Town, that album is, I guess to me, it's real visual. It's kind of like watching a Drifter movie, you know, like a real kind of out there. You ever see that? Was it made? Did you start that album before the whole concept, I guess, of the Drifters or the whole gutter scene, I guess?
Well, man, I mean, yeah, it's for the hobos of today, but it's also for the kids that like to take journeys when they listen to my music, you know. I've always been into chirpy bands and Pink Floyd and all these other things, and I've been a fan of ambient bands and weird noises, and that's just having fun, man.
Yeah.
You know, long driving records are just, you know, there's nothing else coming out of Nashville like that. So that's just another way that I look at it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely made history with that for sure. And talking with your drummer, Sean, I became friends with him when he was touring with Turley for the little time. And he was telling me about the ADD album when I was sitting on a bus one day. And it freaked me out. I was amped up to even think some kind of concept, how that would come together. And somehow or another, I never got hold of none of the CDs until I went to this show in New Orleans. And I bought a set of CDs. And when I heard it live, the whole ADD set, it was intense. I mean, it actually sucked you in. It's different.
It's definitely a lot different for Doom stuff, you know. I mean, I don't know. I'm glad to be able to do that, you know, and reuniting Sleep's old gear and playing through that. And, you know, I've had the St. Vitus brothers come out and see it on the road and making them proud. So
fucking right.
It's you know, it's awesome to be able to be doing that, man. I've wanted to do it for so long, so it feels great.
Yep. And I guess after working so hard for 8 months, you know, doing all the whole albums yourself in your own studio and going on the road, do you feel that lag, I guess, from busting your ass for the last 8 months, being on the road?
Today is the first day, man, I've woken up with hot fire in my throat. I've been kicking ass every fucking day. And shit, I knew I shouldn't have licked that girl's pussy last night. Well, maybe that's my problem today. I don't know, man. But I've been feeling super energetic. I've been delivering the longest show I've ever played in my life, the most gear I've ever hauled in my life. So far, every day's been great, man. And it's been good. You know, I'm pumped about it. And, you know, when you're excited, there's nothing like, you know, the crowd's been feeling our energy also.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it definitely was there in New Orleans, for sure, man.
It's been like that. I swear this whole tour, every night's felt like Friday night. So.
Fucking right.
I think that people are identifying, you know, there's a punk rock tour that came through a bar the other night, was charging $50, and people are seeing, man, you know, how we're trying to keep it real on the low ticket price and giving them every fucking dollar we can for their money, man. Yep. People are getting it.
Hell yeah. And that just shows, of course, the crowd is always the most diverse crowd I've seen at any show, because you have the older country crowd. You always got the 60, 70-year-old, you know, waiting for that, you know, waiting for the honky tonk to kick off. Then you have the younger punk crowd, and you have, of course, all the metal cats with the, you know, death metal shirts on. Overall, it's been pretty, I guess the new stuff's been going over well. No problem.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, there's always a heckler in every crowd, but, you know, a lot of it's been fine. The stoner rock, some nights kids are moving around, and we got 3-Bar Ranch a lot more dialed in now, so it's really fucking kicking ass and, you know, getting heavier and heavier. So it's been a lot of fun, man. I mean, people are starting to get pretty blown away with what they're seeing happen, man.
Yep. And doing all these, the album yourself and having your own, I guess, your own label you put it out on. Is it any kind of flack from the music industry? Anybody try to give you offers to release with them, sign with them?
Yeah, there was always other offers there, but I didn't want to go with a, I'd already done enough time on a big label, man. I want to keep it grassroots and keep it small. I'll always be a bar band. I'll always just be in a bus and a trailer, and if it goes beyond that, something's wrong.
Hell yeah. Well, that's fucking real, man.
Oh, man.
Fucking real. It is the first time I think you ever toured, I guess, around the album, right? Much less for.
Yeah. No, this is, definitely the first time I've ever done that, man.
And Arson Anthem. Last I heard, did you do your drum tracks for the new album or for the new songs they've written?
We'll be doing that here soon, man.
Okay, it's coming up.
I know Philip's been pretty busy with, a lot of stuff, and so we'll be getting around to doing that here soon, man.
Cool. Any, I guess, signing with Phil's label, was there any kind of, did you ever think about that, or, I mean, I know you're close friends, and...
Yeah, no, I didn't want to, just because of our friendship,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I would never sign anyone to my label because I would never want to do another musician wrong.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of a touchy area, man.
Yeah.
So.
Hell yeah. And if any new fans may be listening, as far as getting the word out on HANK3, where to buy it at, any websites to go to?
Just HANK3.com. That's buying it straight from me. So, if you want to see our tour dates or anything like that, that's the best place to go.